All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Clannad After Story, episode 17.
All right, y'all. So we've said
gone.
goodbye to Nagisa.
Yep.
It's time for us to have the story continue on. Mm-hmm. We see what happens after her story. Let's have a little bit of time just to kind of decompress, have mourning, have time basically for the characters to get a little bit of, just relaxing time with each other, because this is the new reality that they're going to be living in.
Yep. And there's a new life.
And there's a new life that they're going to have to figure out how to take care of her.
Because you're a dad, Tomoya.
Yeah.
And a widower.
And
yeah.
No one could have possibly prepared you for this.
Nope.
No one really in your life, other than your dad in prison, probably relates to this. Yeah. Obviously, Nagisa's parents are going to be really helpful and supportive, but they're also going to be going through their own trauma and pain associated with this. So
yeah, they just lost their daughter.
Yeah, it's not going to be a thing that can be done easily or alone. So while it's probably going to be a thing where you're going to have to probably leave the baby with Sanai, because realistically you're going to have a woman who can breastfeed the child a little bit. Sure. Because
you could get some formula, but
even if you get formula and stuff like that, I don't know what Japan thinks about this in general, but I think it's generally better for a baby to have to be breastfed. And I know that based on a lot of my my memories of being like a young kid and stuff like that, I've seen times where family situations got complicated and other women had to breastfeed the child for the baby and for the mom basically. And
there's no mom anymore. So
in this case we don't have like I said. So all right, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh, okay. Yeah. You didn't ask for this. You didn't choose this. Yep. It's mindless. The grayscale, blue, kind of thing of just the life and the color just drained out of it. Wow. Yeah. Yup. Wow, he's literally becoming his dad, yeah.
Yep. It's almost just like that first episode.
Yeah. Just immediately goes to bed. And we're gonna still have the same OP. Lovely.
Yep.
Lovely. Yeah. So Sanai or that's Sanai. Okay. Wow, that panic just look around. He doesn't want to see his daughter.